Hello everybody, I'm back with another video. This is going to be one where I just test some throws. I've been having problems with my cross step and in particular with rounding, so I'm going to see if I can kind of fix those problems here. I'm going to do some light throws with some mid-ranges. Going to start out with that. I'm warmed up already, so all I got to do is try some things. What I'm going to try to do is first keep the disc next to my sternum. And then when I get to the last two steps of the cross step, do the backswing where you reach out, and then do the swing where you pull through. I'm just going to see what it looks like. I'm going to start out with 5 mid-ranges. And the reason I'm trying to keep this here is I'm trying to prevent rounding. In particular, I'm trying to prevent this motion here where I put strain on my shoulder and throw from a mechanically inefficient position. All right. So I put about 200 foot of power on all these, and this is the only one that really came about 200 feet. 2 or 3 of these were about like 180 to 190, and this one here was very low, maybe 120 feet out. So anyways, the thing I want to try to focus on this time is something in particular that I think a lot of people who start throwing should start at, is basically starting out with this at the sternum. Get your elbow at the right position, get the wrist at the right level of extension, not out extended, not too flexed, just right there. Get the feet like this. And just throwing. You're forcing your arm to not be in a position that's less than 90 degrees. You want this at a 90-degree angle or farther out. But by starting here and throwing, you basically put the onus on this part of the throw. And I'm trying to build better form. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm locking this into here, not extending past here yet. I deliberately shanked that. Accidentally shanked that. I deliberately went like that, and that ended up being the wrong thing. So yeah, that's me trying to go 105%. So let's go back to normal. I tried. All right, it's rough, but it's something to work on. All right, so I'm going to try this again, but instead of doing this, which I believe is a bad practice, I'm going to try to basically do this. And I'm just hoping that I didn't bring my shoulder in too much. My shoulder has been starting to hurt, particularly more in the last couple of weeks, because of my excessive throwing with the inefficient position. And so in order for me to keep playing this game, I need to get this rounding problem solved. That's my biggest problem. Everything else is much less significant. So again, I'm going to sort of try to do that. All right, that was bad on my part. I don't understand exactly what I did, but that doesn't matter. I'm just trying to build form by throwing correctly. And since I can't feel whether or not I'm rounding a little bit, if I round a lot, I can feel it because it hurts. But if I round just a little bit, I can't tell. So again, I'm trying to put my feet placement like this. I'm trying to get my hips aligned towards the target, which I'm just aiming for that basket. Trying to get this in the right position. Okay, I'll have to keep dialing this in, but I do kind of like where it's going. And what I've got to turn it into is a cross step ending with this, with the correct alignment of my upper arm with my chest as I throw. And I want you to notice I'm not trying to put any more than 200 foot of power, except for a couple of those shanks that I did where I lost the plot. All I'm trying to do is do this. And I'm trying to focus on using the rest of my arm, not leading with my shoulder, because that hurts at this point. I'm trying to, like that. Well, that's well over 200 feet, maybe 220. I kind of like where this is going, if I could just get the angle down. But again, I'm just starting from scratch with this particular mindset of pulling through with the whole arm. That's like 240 that way. Because I threw it flat, I need to throw it with hyzer, so I'm going to try to bend my torso down a little bit and do the same thing. All right. And play around with it, pour the soup. I think I was just doing that. I need to pour the soup better, so. Oh yeah, I loved that one. Heck yeah. All right, so all those were between 210 and 230 feet, which is great for mid-ranges for me. So I think I'm sort of onto something. So let's just see what we can do. Pour the coffee. That is actually smashed. I think I gave it the wrong release angle. I don't know how I gave it. Maybe I did something with my wrist that caused that. It's kind of what I'm feeling like. Maybe I turned it. That one was smoked. But I need to start getting that hyzer angle down. Okay, I can work on this. And just so you know, there are trees in the way. I'm literally not caring about the trees. I don't care if one of these discs hits the tree. I'm just focusing on pushing the discs that way. I'm envisioning I have a blank slate in front of me. Nice, and I've been throwing high to counteract the anhyzer I've been putting on these discs. And just to be clear, I'm so focused on rounding that I really don't care about everything else, like the release angle. That's something I can fix at a later time. My biggest problem, which is actually a game stopper, if I don't fix this rounding problem, I'm gonna injure myself to such an extent I can't play the sport anymore. So, and I'm also throwing understable mid-ranges, which have a tendency to flip up. That's a very good throw. I am concerned that I did a little bit of this. I don't know until I look at the footage later. trying to put my... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did something wrong there, more than just a release angle. So let me slow it back down. That was my attempt to put more power. I'm going to go back to the 200-foot power throw. 200-foot power for me, that is. And I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to go back to normal for now, which is this for me. All right. Just here to solve rounding. All right, so I have to say my throws right now are worse than they were previously. That was the best of the bunch, and I'm not sure how well my form was. And just to note, the reason I'm using only 5 discs and 5 mid-ranges is there's a fair bit of taller grass out there, and it's easier to keep track of 5 discs rather than emptying my entire cart of 20+ discs for the sake of getting better. If I were in a wide open field with cut grass, I'd be throwing more discs. But these 5 mid-ranges are just fine. I was trying to go low. I wasn't trying to go that low. I'm trying to go about that high, not that high. That was a mistake on my part. I'm definitely turning my wrist or something. I don't really know, but the important part is I'm working on the rounding. I'll fix release angles later. I'll try to do more hyzer to counteract that. Oh yeah, I definitely skied that one. All right, we're going to dial this back, because if I'm gonna throw at a bad release angle, the last thing I need to do is do that. That did feel so good though. I can't wait till I actually become good at throwing. There we go. I definitely sunk the hyzer on that one. Finally got the hyzer right. All right, now the moment I've been waiting for, the flippy fairway drivers. A bunch of Leopards and an FD, highly used FD. And I'm gonna try to slow it down, focus a little bit more on hyzer, and just see what kind of distance I can get with controlled, non-rounding shots. That right there is probably the best throw I've ever made on this course. Mind you, it's only like maybe 250, but it was straight and what I envisioned. I even got the hyzer right. Just so you know, that is about the area where I'm aiming for. That distance, kind of in that thing. All right. Too low. I liked everything about it, but I did it too low. The height I had on the previous two I thought was great. Wow, I put too much on it and it showed. Perfect, perfect. Oh man, I gotta say that's probably 4 out of 5. Great throws. I'm gonna play around with this more on other days. I just had a few minutes free before the sun went down, and that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. Actually, you know what? I think it's time for a little bonus footage. I'm gonna do some mid-range throws with my forehand. I'm just gonna see what I can do. I'm just gonna throw from the back of this tee pad, because I'm not really interested in the distance, and I'm just need to see what I can do. I'm gonna do standstill for right now. And forehand aficionados, if you can see anything I'm doing wrong, please let me know, because I don't really know what I'm doing. I know I turned that or something. I don't know if I turned my wrist, but I did something in such a way as to make that flip over. Yeah, I'm doing that. So I need to get my swing path correct. Because even if you start out hyzer and you do this, you're going to turn over your disc. So I'm going to throw with a little bit less power so I can get more control. Okay, I can live with that. And just so you know, my max distance with the mid-range is typically 200, 210 feet with any disc, really. I don't get any extra distance with the fairway driver. That's why I always use mids. Okay, I've got footage to examine. I would say these were between 170 and 200 feet with, of course, the Manta. The disc I tend to throw the best forehand went the farthest at about 200 feet. So again, I'm just going to try to dial back the power. And I got to remember to keep my front foot facing in the direction I want to throw. And then try to keep my back foot at a 45-degree angle. And then do some slide hyzer. That's probably closer to 170. I didn't put a lot of power on it, but to be honest, I'm not interested in putting a lot of power on these at this time. I didn't do that right. I don't really have the connection with my arm and throwing discs like I would if I was really good at doing this. So I'm playing guesswork after the fact, after the disc leaves, before I can figure out what I did wrong. I didn't quite do that right. It felt almost like it fell out of my hand. I was aiming that way and it fell out over there. And I'm looking at the basket 350 feet away or whatever. There we go. That is my best throw outside of that first Manta throw in the previous clip. A little high, but that is otherwise exactly what I wanted. All right, this Foxbat and Wombat3, I got maybe 130, 140 with both of them. And that's a result of me not throwing them properly, and that's fine. These two were almost 200 feet away in the middle of the fairway. These were the two I was happiest with, the two Mako 3. Now I'm going to do one last hurrah of throws on this hole with slightly understable to stable mid-ranges. Foot facing forward, 45-degree angle, aim towards the basket. That's good. That's maybe 170. 160 maybe. There we go. I threw it harder and more like this, so that's why it dive bombed to the left with the Anheuser throw, so I needed to step back slightly from that. That was not a good throw. And you know, I'm okay with that. I'm learning. There we go. That felt a lot more like what I wanted. One more throw. Anyways, that is going to do it. The sun is setting. I'm tired and a little worn out. And that's going to do it for this video. I hope you liked it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I've got more content like this and a lot of other interesting, unique content coming up. So subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day. All right, here's some bonus footage. I went too far. That's not how you're supposed to throw. I didn't throw it at it like I was supposed to. I overcompensated that direction. There we go, that's what Daddy wanted. Easy putts from there.